Hi everyone, my name is Tricia Albrechtsen and I could not be more excited to speak with you today. Well, I guess I could. The thing that would make it better would be if we were in person, standing in a large arena and we were looking at each other eye to eye and sharing each other's energy and smiles. But since we can't be with you in person, I'm just excited to be able to spend this time with you. And I love that the company is taking into account that we are social distancing. So they're doing this event at no charge. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did this a few more times or even made it a regular thing, because they are very conscientious of the fact that in network marketing, people oftentimes have to go into debt to attend these events every quarter. So they're aware of that and they don't want that to be a burden on your family. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they did this again, even if we didn't need to. So I hope your teams are all plugging in and that you're getting everything out of this that you need to. My husband, Eric, and I have been in this industry for a very long time, and we've looked at so many different companies, and we've been so impressed with the level of quality of products that are found in this industry. But when we were looking for our last opportunity, we literally wanted something very special, because we've been to the top now of 2 companies and we retired in yet a third. And each time we left those companies because of decisions that were being made by the corporate team, things that were being put into place that either hurt us or hurt our teams or hurt everyone. And we were not willing to do that, or people that were putting integrity on the line and were making decisions that we just couldn't stand by. And if you know me and you know my husband, you know that integrity is a large part of what we do, that we want our word to be our bond, and we want people to be able to trust us and trust that we're leading them in a good direction, and that we're honest with them, and we want the best for them. And we wanted a corporate team that felt the same way. So after we left our last company, we said we were not doing it again unless we could find something that was really unique and really special, because we had been down the road several times where we've heard a good spiel and we've heard, a good dream built by somebody that can present the company and present the timing and the products and the everything, and it just sounds wonderful. And for the first 10 years, we would buy into companies that we weren't successful in at all. So if you've ever been unsuccessful in network marketing, we hear you. And then we got into companies where we figured it out, and we figured out there's some basic skills to building a network marketing company. And once you know it, it's kind of like riding a bike, and you can do it over and over and over, even if there's a period of time in between and you don't do it for a while. When you start again, you know what to do, and you can get back on that bike and learn and go again. And so we learned how to do network marketing, but we also learned that if you are at somebody's under somebody's guide and they are not of the same integrity that you are, that it could be a bumpy road. And for us, we weren't willing to do that. Money's just money, and you can go make it somewhere else. So we left. And when we found Activz, we had already looked at well over 100 companies, and we had looked at so many comp plans and so many product lines, and there were some good products out there and there were some good comp plans out there, but each time something just didn't feel right. Because for us, we have a very strong litmus test when we look at companies, and we wanted everything to be right. And I finally looked at my husband about November, December of last year and just said, I'm going to go work for a company. I'm done. I'm done trying to find one, because it doesn't seem like there's anything out there where all the factors lined up. We were looking for 5 very specific things, and nobody that we looked at could offer us all 5. And if it looked like they did, because we found companies over the last 15 years that it looked like they did, and we'd made it to the top only to find out that the company wasn't everything they said that they were going to be. And our last company we thought was going to be the one. We were working with David and Ryan and Angie and a lot of these great faces that we see here at Activz, and little by little they left, and we didn't know why until we got to the point where we had pulled back the curtain far enough that we were seeing some of the things that caused them to leave, and we were left with people that didn't have the same integrity and scruples. So being able to be with them here, knowing that they know what we know, they've been through what we've been through, they're never going to let a lot of those things happen here, and they have as much PTSD over the past as we do. So if you are a recovering industry professional that's had the rug pulled out from underneath you and you've got some PTSD, we hear you and we get it. But there is a new tomorrow that can be amazing, and it's here at Activz. So when we found David and Ryan again and we realized that Activz could check every box, we were blown away. And we literally had sworn it off. We weren't going to do network marketing again. And I know there's some of you in that camp that are listening to this, and it's okay. It's okay to dream again. It's okay to have hope again, because they do have everything checked and in the right place. Is it perfect? No, we're still early. So when we came, we wanted some changes made to the website and some just little cosmetic things here and there, and they got right on it and started making those changes. But the foundation was here. The company integrity was here. And we knew that David and Ryan would never let anything attack their house again. That they are going to hold to this as tightly as we are. We want it to be a positive experience for everybody who steps in the doors of Activz. We looked at their products and we were blown away, because we always look for products that are unique and proprietary and consumable. And a lot of companies have a great story with their products. But what we found with this company is they had Dr. McCord, and we'd worked with him before, and we knew what his capability was with Nerve 2. And then to find that his products were 10 times stronger than anything we'd ever seen blew us away. And then they took it a step higher and introduced us to Albrechtsen technologies and showed us Link and Optimend. And my husband got results literally within 24 hours. I was one of those more slow bloomers. I didn't start to see anything for 30 days. And I know some people it takes even longer, but we know they're working. We know they're smart, intelligent products working epigenetically down on a level that we may or not be able to see or feel, but a lot of times people can. And that's really, really powerful to have a product line that people can see results. So the products was a huge checkoff for us, because it was epigenetics. It was leading the industry. It was leading the industry for Nerve 2. It was leading the industry on this patented process that Albrechtsen has developed of wrapping molecules that nobody else can, things that aren't soluble to the body, or things that aren't palatable to the body, or things that need to be time released in the body, or too delicate to get in the body, and he can do it. What does that hold for potential for a company? That's huge. So we knew the product line was in good hands, and we talked to David and heard some of the companies that were passing over his doorstep on a weekly basis, showing David and Ryan these new incredible breakthrough products, and they were turning most of them away because they can be picky, and they were picking the best of the best to be here at Activz. It blew my mind. And then I tried their skincare, and Maura changed my skin in a way that I'd never ever seen before. So fell in love with the products. That was a check for us really, really quickly. We looked at their compensation plan. I'm going to be totally honest with you. We had heard rumors in the industry about Activz that they didn't have a strong compensation plan. And honestly, my husband and I, that's why we join companies. It's our livelihood. That's how we pay our bills. So we needed a company that was going to be able to pay us, and not, we didn't expect the moon, but we wanted to be able to make money with the comp plan, be able to pay our bills and help other people do the same. When we left our last industry or our last company, we made a decision. We had helped hundreds of people retire. And we said, okay, if we're ever going to do this again, we have to do it bigger and better and stronger. Let's find something that we feel like we could potentially help 1,000 people to make over $10,000 a month. And that was a huge, huge jump. When I started saying that, my husband looked sideways at me and he said, you got to be reasonable. I said, no, we're going to think big. We're going to think huge. And if we can help 300, why can't we help 1,000? The only reason we didn't help 1,000 in our last company is the rug was pulled out from underneath us before we got there. I wanted something that we could build for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. I want something that I can die in this company and let my children's children know about Activz and know about these products and be benefited by the money that has been created and is generational wealth passing down. And I know for a lot of you, that's your why. You want a way to empower your family and to be able to leave money behind you. We wanted something that would be powerful. So we sat down with Ryan Thompson, who wrote the compensation plan. We sat down with Ryan Mumford, our CFO, and he helped us dissect it and help me understand it. I'm kind of a numbers geek. When I get a hold of a compensation plan, I like to tear it apart, and I like to run different scenarios. A lot of you have seen videos that I put together showing how things work, because I think it's just fascinating when you can show people how to get there and show them the end result. Because if you can see it in your mind's eye and you can believe it, we know you can achieve it, because the brain doesn't know whether it's reality or whether it's just something you've put in your brain. So I love to show people the end from the beginning so that they can believe it, because then I know they can get there. So we started pulling this apart, and we realized really quickly that we could get people to the top of this company with fewer people than we'd ever seen before. So kind of a mid-level organization where a lot of people had hit in our last company would put you at the top here at this company. It blew our minds. And then we started to understand the amount of money that they had put into our pool bonuses. And that was just astounding, because our goal is to get this company to $1 billion. And what is 10% of $1 billion shared among you and a couple of your friends? That'll keep you awake at night. So the money was amazing. And so we got in and we started running, and literally we started getting paid right away. And before we knew it, we were paying for all of our bills through Activz in a very short period of time. And it's only going to get better and better and better. And so we know that if we can do this, you can do this. We didn't bring over huge teams. We didn't bring over huge industry leaders. We just started with friends and people that we care about and people that we wanted them to have their turn. We wanted them to be able to make a difference for their families. And people like that. People that you want to benefit. And what's going to happen 5 years from now when they're on a beach with you and they're looking at you saying, "Thank you for changing my life." That's what we want to be doing right now. Telling the people that you care about that you want to spend time with, because literally everything had lined up. We looked at the timing of the company, and it had only been in the United States for just a short period of time. They were still literally translating things into English. And yet, what an amazing setup with this company. We've seen so many companies that launched in the United States, and we've been early in some of them and been blessed by that timing. But others, we joined a company that had started in Europe and had come over to the United States, and that was fine, and that worked, and it was great, and that's where we first retired, was that company. But we literally were blown away by what had happened here at Activz, that they had founded in the United States, so they understood the U.S. culture, and they were right here, and customer service could speak English, and all of those great things. And yet they launched in Mexico and then down into South America. And so they had that time down there to get through all the rough water and all the bumps and things that come with an early company. And here they were coming back around into the United States, and we got to hear about it really early on. Absolutely phenomenal timing. So if you're here, you're hearing about it so early. And if you're seeing things, if you're an industry leader and you're seeing things that still aren't quite up to the speed that you want them to be, you're here for a reason. Bring your skill set to the table and offer that, because we are still getting our tools and things in place for the United States. And yet they already had systems. They were that early, and yet they already had an app done. They already had videos ready to send out with the touch of a button. They already had so many things in place for trainings and all of these things that I'd seen other companies struggle for years and years to try and get in place. And then we watched the trends of the whole world shift in the direction of Activz, and everybody needed a way to work from home, and everybody needed a way to strengthen their immune system. So literally everybody you look at that can fog glass right now doesn't just want to look at what you have, they need to look at what you have. Our only job is to open our mouths and to share this with them. Sorry, I keep checking my time. I want to make sure that I'm giving time to all the other amazing speakers that are out there. I could not be more grateful to be here at Activz. And when we saw this company and we saw the integrity of the corporate people, we knew their experience, and we know they can take this to $1 billion. We looked at the product line they were bringing on and how they were positioning everything to take us to $1 billion with products that you cannot get anywhere else. Yes, you can get them on Amazon, but when we found that out, it was a little bit of a bump for us until we realized they'd done something really smart and locked down that contract so that nobody else can dump product there. If you've been in another company where you saw people doing that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. We looked at the timing, we looked at the trends, we looked at their compensation plan, and we realized this was the place that we could help 1,000 people make over $10,000 a month. You are first, you're early, you get to be part of this first event. I'm so proud of you being here. Let's go absolutely change your life over the next 90 days. This is my time, I'm up. So I'm gonna turn it over to the next speaker, but thank you for letting me take a few minutes with you, and thank you for letting us be part of the Activz family.